Sitting there, I hopefully have shown you a little bit about your craft. Another thing you can do is go to the internet for Coriolis. This is an excellent website. I would recommend going there and bookmarking it. In fact, if you go there and bookmark a load of links, it's really useful. Do let me know if you want me to send you any of these links. Right, so let's just have a look at this. I'd like to order by cost, because that gives me an idea of where I'm going. There's your Sidewinder right down at the very bottom. Afterwards, you might want to think about one of these craft as your upgrade path. Your Eagle is slightly more fighty. Hauler is cheap, basically a space taxi. Adder is good because it's the first time that you can actually start doing a bit more tradey stuff. Imperial Eagle requires the most basic rank in Imperial ranks, so unless you're in an Imperial system, that won't be available, unfortunately, and you need to get rank before that is available. But it's a nice craft, basically the same as the Eagle, but more expensive. Viper is going to be your target ship if you want to go down a combat route. Cobra Mark III is a little bit more general purpose. Viper Mark IV is basically a bigger, heavier, not as good version of the Mark III, so I'd probably recommend skipping that. Diamondback Scout, likewise, it is slated as not being particularly good. Cobra Mark IV is only available to original Horizon owners. I have one. You don't. But it's not very good anyway, so don't worry about it. Type 6 is your first available large transport ship. I wouldn't recommend it because it's just a sitting target. However, you can probably get into trading doing this. Trading's kind of fun when you're in a weak ship because you have to run away, and all those encounters that you have with people in combat ships are more interesting because you are shitting yourself and just trying to get away as quickly as you can with your expensive cargo. All that risk. It's all about risk. Oh, so tense. Dolphin is good if you want to do passenger missions. Passenger missions are good because they're a nice source of income. So would recommend that. Diamondback Explorer is that is basically the exploration ship of choice. I would recommend that. I have one. I use it all the time. You can get a massive jump range, and if you're going exploring, you don't really want much more than that. The other good option for exploration is Anaconda, and as you can see, that's miles away. Imperial Courier is a lovely ship. I love this. It's my favourite ship. But you need, I think, the second rank where you get a ship in Empire. So you won't be getting that for a while. Keelback is kind of like your Type 6, but it is slightly more shooty. So that is if you want to do trading and still be able to fight back. I think some of these ships get fighter planes, so you can have a fighter and a crew member to fly it. And I think the Keelback has that. I can't remember all of them because I've not done that at all. Asp Scout. Well, you'd probably want to avoid this one, but, you know, buy it if you want. Vulture would recommend as another combat ship there. It is only got 2 weapons, but it's pretty good. Pretty good. I like Vulture. It's a nice dogfighter type ship, and it's small. Okay, Asp Explorer. This is... I suppose it is better than the Diamondback Explorer in terms of, you know, it's a better ship, but I don't think it can jump as far, and it's more expensive, and it feels like a massive whale. You fly it around, and you're just a gigantic target. It's not too bad for taking down light ships, but if anything serious comes after you, you are dead. Federal Dropship is good for planetary stuff. You need, I think, the basic rank in Federal to get it, so you're not going to be able to get that straight away. I have one of these. I quite like it for doing planetary missions. You can kit it out with missiles. Lots of missiles. Type 7 transporter, I think I read a review somewhere that it's actually worse than the Type 6, and the reason for that is that you're not going to fight with it, and it's slower, so you get stuck, and then you get blown up. So would recommend not getting the Type 7 unless you want to have a fun time. Okay, Alliance Chieftain. I think that's probably quite fun. You could do that. I mean, this is the I'm having fun with my combat builds kind of zone now. So Federal Assault Ship is just a step up from the dropship, except it's better, basically. This is a nice one. There's another one here, Federal Gunship. That's the step up again. That's even nicer, but it's more of a boat. A boat with lots of guns on it. Imperial Clipper, that is basically the next step up after your Imperial Courier. And it is a fast trading shooty ship. I like this ship. I have it myself, and I love it. I don't love it quite as much as I love the Imperial Courier, but I don't use the Courier very much because this one's slightly more useful. Alliance Crusader, Alliance Challenger, and the, wherever the other one was, the Alliance Chieftain. I've had one of these before, and I think they were generally good. I think you can use them for Xeno shooting, that kind of thing, but I haven't really got into them. Federal Gunship, I've mentioned that. Crate Phantom and a Crate Mark II. I have a Crate Mark II. The Phantom, I think, is more for exploration. Crate Mark II is a general purpose. Orca is the next step up from the Dolphin. Passengers, I have an Orca, it's great, and you can even fight in it as well, so would recommend. Fer-de-Lance and a Mamba, these are your 2 assassination ships, so watch out for these are hard ships. Python is basically a kind of more general purpose ship, but in the kind of same tier as the larger ships, but it is a medium ship, which is kind of nice. Type 9 is your tradie ship. It is a massive boat, so you go slowly. It's got fighters, but yeah, do it if you're doing trading. I've never really got into trading as much as I should have done, probably, but yeah, I might get one of these at some point. Type 10 is used for Xeno killing. I have not got into that yet either. Beluga Liner is mixed in with your Orca and your Dolphin. And you can build some interesting combat builds with the Beluga as well. But it's expensive, and I haven't got that either. These are your top 3 ships. These are the Master Race ships. These are your endgame ships. Federal Corvette, you need rank to get that. Imperial Cutter, you need rank to get that. Both of those take ages to grind rank. I wouldn't recommend grinding rank. I would recommend just playing the game. And eventually, you'll be able to access them. The Anaconda, on the other hand, that is something that you can access. It's a general purpose kind of ship, but it does do everything really well. Lots of people love their Anacondas. I haven't got one yet. I'd like to. When you get into this screen, this is just a basic overview. You get some information here, which is kind of nice to see your jump range and your shield and your armor. Your damage per second as well if you're playing with combat builds and looking at the different weapons options that you have. Cargo is also useful for if you're trying to balance a multi-role ship or a trading ship. Mass, not particularly important, although if you ram people, the higher mass you've got, the more damage you do, basically. Hardness is your armor, so you remember me talking about weapon piercing. Well, this is the anti-weapon piercing. The harder the ship, the more piercing you need to do as much damage. If you fire a small weapon against a big ship, then a lot of that damage is negated. It's like a percentage type thing. Mass lock factor, if you've got a big ship, then it means that you can't... Then if someone's trying to jump away, they need to move away from the big ship to be able to jump. And the larger your mass lock factor, the further people need to move away, and the longer it takes for the jump drives to charge up if they are close. So that's useful for if you're trying to keep people from running away. Okay, so shields, you can see the percentage modifiers. That's the absolute protection, and then you can see with the percentage modifiers what they basically turn into. That's the recovery time in minutes, and that's how long it takes to recharge fully. Armor, similar thing. Raw, modular. Yeah, so module protection, and I don't know what that is. Or maybe it tells me. Okay, I don't care, whatever. So this is basically a nice way of looking at your outfitting screen. But the problem with designing a ship here is this is like idealizing your build. And the problem with the game is that not all these modules are available at one station. So you go to one station and you'll be able to get 80 or 90% of the modules that you want, and then you have to go somewhere that's got the rest of it. Or you can search for the modules that you want by going to this lovely website that just basically gives you access to the Elite Dangerous database. And you can search for things. So you put your reference system in. Baduba, that's where I am. Badaba. So if I look for stuff, I get to see how far away things are from the place I am. Yeah, you want to balance your power systems. You can look at various statistics, how far away you are, fall off damage. I just want to browse this in your own spare time. Yes, very nice. Alright, so that's basically outfitting. I think that's all you kind of need to know for the moment, and if not, then we can cover it later. Okay, see you later, peeps.